Football is back. Well, I was going to say West Ham are back, but football is actually back, isn't it? Because I've just watched Burnley against Man City. They started quite brightly, Burnley. Got a bit feisty, a bit tasty at the end. I guess the cream rises to the top, and if you can spend the sort of money that Man City can, then you're going to look to win, aren't you? So they look pretty formidable. They don't need Paqueta, do they, Man City? I don't think so. They look good enough without him, that's for sure. West Ham being back today is the interesting one. I'm very intrigued what David Moyes is going to do, actually, particularly with Michail Antonio. Moyes seemed a little bit spiky, I've got to say, in his press conference. That excited, happy exuberance that we saw following the win against Prague had gone. It was weird listening to the press conference. He had the sound and the look of a tired man. It was like he was fed up with the questions already, even at the first game of the season. I guess it can't be easy. He had to field a lot of questions about the signings, basically, and the people we were selling and trying to bring people in. But you know what? I don't have that much sympathy for him or the club, because we've left it so bloody late that it is a hindrance. Of course they're going to get asked. And that's why the business should have been done a month ago. But, you know, then you can just turn around and say, yeah, the players are all settled and we can just look forward to Bournemouth. Of course, this is what happens. If you're still player trading, selling and buying on the eve of the game, which is when the press conference was, of course the journalists are going to ask about it. By the way, let me just refer back to yesterday's video. I just want to point out, 99.9% got it. It was a joke. Yesterday's video was a joke. I wasn't actually stalking James Ward Prowse. That wasn't James Ward Prowse's house. As somebody said, that wasn't even James Ward Prowse's son. None of that. I was just on the way to see me mum, all right? And I just thought I'd make a silly video and have a laugh along the way. This T-shirt, all right, I know we're not in the Conference League. That was another joke. It was sort of mentioned in the video before in the comments. Fritz had pointed it out as well. This is a printing error, a Hammers Chat printing error. So yeah, I was poking fun at us poking fun at ourselves. It's the date. We got the date wrong, basically. So we've got quite a few of those. Good for dusting and stuff like that, really, isn't it? So yeah, please, not to be taken too seriously out of video yesterday. Today, against Bournemouth, Antonio is an interesting one, because Antonio made some funny old comments, and I'm going to paraphrase here, but it was almost along the lines of, I'm a West Ham player for now, that sort of thing. I'm paraphrasing it, I got it slightly wrong, but, you know, whilst I'm at West Ham, I'll continue to give 100%. It's a weird way of talking, do you know what I mean? I mean, imagine if you imagine talking like that about your wife, for instance. Someone said, "Oh, you know, you got your anniversary coming up," and you say, "Well, yeah, me and the missus are getting on well for now. Yeah, you know, for all the time I remain with the wife, I'm going to be a committed husband, and I'll try my best." It don't sound good, does it? It sounds like you're going to bugger off, basically, and he sounded like he was going to bugger off, Antonio. So it was a bit of an interesting one. Now, Mubama didn't play for the under-21s, which was, well, he certainly wasn't in the starting lineup anyway. I think 2-3-0 loss to Arsenal, I believe. Hey, it doesn't matter. We won the big one last season, right? So does that mean he's going to be included in the first team squad? I would assume so. So well, David Moyes has got a few decisions to make. There was some suggestion he might play Bowen up front. I think, you know, well, listen, I don't really care as long as we win for this one. It's just we hopefully get the win and we move forward, and we've got some more players to play in the next game, basically. But Bowen up front, who would we play on the right wing? I guess what would he do? Play Fornals there or something like that? Would he play Kadoa there? Right? He's not going to be that brave as to do anything like play a youngster in there. So it is going to be interesting to see. I would prefer Bowen to play in his usual position. It has to be said, but it's going to be strange to... it's not strange, it's going to be interesting to find out what Moyes does on that one. David Moyes says that Alvarez would not be featuring because he's not trained. I mean, no surprise there. If you heard myself and Gio's preview that we did earlier on in the week, I'm not surprised by that. That I do not blame. Well, I don't blame him for not playing him. I don't think he could play him if he'd only just flown over. He's not had a training session. He's jet-lagged. He can't. But this is just another reason why have we taken so much time to get these deals done? At the point of doing this, as I understand it, James Ward Prowse has had his medical. Yeah, I wasn't actually driving to get James Ward Prowse. Just want to reiterate that. It was me. I drove down, got him, delivered him. Did medical myself. He's fine. I had a look. Nothing wrong with the knees. Good. But when you take that long, then he's not registered in time. You know, it's... I've got to say, it's really amateurish, actually, the way we've done about this. Just get it done more quickly. If everything's just done a day earlier, you know, I'm not asking too much. I mean, to be fair, it should have been done a month earlier. But, okay, what about one day earlier? It's just so shoddy, so amateurish that we can't... that neither of these players are ready, even though technically we've only signed one, but really, we've signed both of them. So the medical's done, all the pictures are done, all the stuff that the media team, they're just waiting to release it, basically. And to have all that done, but not get the registration done in time that he's available. So, for the Bournemouth game I'm talking about, is amateurish. We're so bad at this. That's... I hate it, actually hate it. What's he going to do in midfield? I don't know. I mean, people are now saying that Downs can't play. Well, Downs will have to play. And I only say that because there's talk of Downs going to Southampton, of course. So Downs has got to play. He doesn't have much choice, really, does he? I mean, the big question is he going to play Paqueta? Is David Moyes going to play Paqueta? I think he should. I absolutely think he should. Because I think it sends the right signal to the player and it sends the right signal to Manchester City, which is, you know, if you want him, come and get him, but it shows that we've not given up. It's one thing saying, hold on, you can only buy him if you give us 90 million or whatever the price may be. But actually playing him demonstrates that, which is, no, he's still our player. And you know what? If he's stinking the place out, then you just substitute him and bring him off. But yeah, hopefully he's there and he's going to prove a point. So as Pep Guardiola's going to be watching, all the Man City fans will be watching, and he'll prove a point and he'll show him what he's got. You know, he'll have his best performance, help win us the game. It's a bit crap that he's going, but you know what? I've got to be honest. I'm getting absolutely sick of these players that don't want to play for West Ham. I'm getting fed up with them. I know it's not ideal, but you know, and I know we're a bit... I've just called us amateurish. I think we are amateurish. And yeah, and a lot of them, I don't blame them for leaving. I really don't. But I am still a supporter of West Ham. And, you know, I don't like it when players don't want to play for us. And, you know, so when... And that's why I sort of think, you know what, good on you, James Ward Prowse. He wants to play for West Ham. He'll do for me, actually. He will do for me. I've completely changed my minds on it. You know, I really do. I welcome him to the club, and I hope he's gonna really, really work out well for us. Just a shame don't get to see him today, really. It's even more disappointing, actually. Antonio doesn't seem to want to play for West Ham. That I don't get, and I'll only be repeating myself on the... Sorry. I didn't bang your ears, just whack the microphone there. Only be repeating myself. I talk more about Antonio. I just don't get it. David Moyes done nothing wrong by Antonio. David Moyes done everything right by Antonio. So what we're going to see today, counter-attacking performance, who knows? I don't know. I hope we have some pace in the team to counter-attack. Yeah, I know they say that on every game, but hey, it's true, isn't it? But Bournemouth got a vibrant young squad. They might have signed Max Aarons as well. They certainly signed Alex Scott, not the lady. They've signed Kirkaz. They've signed, I think they might have made 5 signings, all sort of exciting young players. So... You know, they're going to be having a go. I've been interested in listening to the radio. As you know, I was driving up and down the motorway yesterday. So I've been interested in listening to the radio. And, you know, he's well thought of, well regarded, the Bournemouth coach. So it's going to really be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what we do. It was basically, is the new excitable new coach with his new young waspish cherries, whatever, you know. He's going to come up against the old seasoned, grizzly campaigner in David Moyes, who's had enough. He said, I've had enough. I don't care anymore. And it was quite interesting actually, because somebody posted a clip of him when he was doing that Diary of a CEO podcast, and so I can't remember. Someone sent me the clip on WhatsApp, and I had seen the podcast, but they'd clipped this little bit which had said him basically turning around and saying, "I don't give a shit anymore. Basically, I don't care what people think." And it was really interesting. I watched that before I'd seen the news conference, and he was saying the same thing again. I don't care. So he seems a little bit grumpy. I hope he's motivated. I mean, there's only one thing worse than David Moyes getting all these players and, you know, building this older team, and that is David Moyes getting all these players and building this older team and it not working. If he's going to do it, I hope David Moyes is motivated and he thinks it's going to work. Because if he don't even think it's going to work, we are all in trouble. Anyway, I'm going to stick with me 2-0 prediction. Having said that, I think we're going to win 2-0. I've got no evidence. I don't know. I was hoping there might be a signing or two over the line. But we do have some good players. I think defence is going to be defence is going to be good. We have a good defence there, no doubt about it. A lot of it hinges on Paqueta and the striker. What's David Moyes going to do? Be interesting. Anyway, ain't got to wait until long. So we watch kick off 3. Myself and Gio will be 5 to 2. We'll be live over on the main channel for our first build-up show of the season. So it's going to be really, really interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of nerves in the build-up show. Anyway, there we go. I'll catch up with you. Whatever. 5 to 2. Join me and Gio, and we'll catch up with you then.